In this video, we're going to talk about what to do if you're behind on your bills. And jumping right in, number one is don't panic and don't get stressed out. Don't freak out. Trust me, I have been there. I have had my car repossessed. I have had my student loans in default. I've had my power and my electricity turned off for days on end. Multiple times I ate spaghetti and butter for years on end just because it was super cheap and I love pasta. But I've been there. I've been there. It's been stressful. It is scary. It is somewhere I never want to be again. But sometimes life happens, especially with everything that's gone on in 2020, how stressful of a year, how crazy of a year. And it's been crazy. It's been tough. So like I said, we're going to talk about what to do if you're behind on your bills, a step-by-step plan to get that action plan going. So this is going to walk you through the whole process of what I recommend if you're behind on your bills, how to combat it. But like I said, don't stress, don't panic. That's just going to make the situation worse. And then you're going to make decisions out of fear. And that's the last thing you want to do. And then looking back, you're like, why did I do that? Oh my goodness. That was not wise at all. So come up with an action plan, come up with a game plan, and I'm going to walk you through each of those steps. Number two is to find out how much you owe. You can't make an action plan if you don't know where you're starting. Now, this is something that a lot of people don't want to face because it's scary. You have these debts, you know that you owe money to this person, you have this medical bill, you have this student loan that you've been paying on for years and years and years, you have your credit cards, and you're like, I just don't want to know. Ignorance is bliss. I'd rather just not think about it. But you really need to. You need to face the music. You need to really be like, all right, we're going to take ownership of this, and knowing is going to be a lot better than the not knowing of it. Always weighing on your shoulder. How much is it? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm past due, where I'm at with everything. So first, find out how much you owe, what you owe. The best way to do this is to pull a credit report, and I recommend Credit Karma. They're awesome. They're free. You can find out what exactly is going on your credit score and what are your balances on everything, all of that right on Credit Karma. So I'll have a link for them down below in the description box and also in the pinned comment. But know what you owe. And when you're pulling up these numbers, there's 4 things that I want you to pull. Number 1, what is the minimum balance that you owe each month? Number 2 is when is that due? What is the due date of those minimum balances? Number 3, what is the interest rate that you're paying? And number 4, what is the total balance? So write down those 4 things for each debt that you have, and then we're going to come up with an action plan with that. Number 3 is to create a monthly budget. Create a budget. Start tracking your spending. I know that budgeting can be scary. I know that it's intimidating, but really getting in the habit of tracking your spending is the first step to budgeting and being successful with budgeting. When I do my personal one-on-one coaching with clients, I recommend the first 1 to 2 months of just getting in the habit of tracking. Don't even worry about finalizing your budget. Finalizing your budget is a huge part of being successful at budgeting, but in the beginning, just get in the habit of tracking your spending, know what you're spending, know how much for each category, all of that. So there's several different apps that you can use. There's budgeting Excel sheets, there's pen and paper, there's printables, so many different resources out there. I personally have Excel spreadsheets that I use and I recommend, and then also printables that they're great if you like the pen and paper, just doing it out manually. That's another great way to get on track with your budget. The next thing you want to do is a spending analysis. So look back and figure out how much you're spending each month on groceries, how much you're spending on eating out, how much you're spending on gas, how much you're spending on all of those bills with variable expenses. So figure out how much it is. Go back and look at a couple months of past statements on your credit card or on your debit card or whatever it is. That way you can get a baseline. You can say, okay, we're spending on average $600 a month on our groceries. We're spending $250 a month on gas. We're spending $300 on eating out. This is how much we're spending. So that way you can be like, okay, we can create a budget from here. And like I said, when you're tracking your spending, it's eye-opening. When you're having to go in and log each expense, it's like, oh, I don't want to log this because I just went to the gas station and got snacks 4 times this week. And yeah, that's a lot. And those are those self-accountability partners. This is honestly why I prefer you to use a pen and paper, an Excel, something like that, versus the app that automatically tracks it. There's some apps that will link to your bank account. I honestly don't recommend those in the beginning because I like the accountability of pen and paper. I like the accountability of going and tracking with Excel, where you can go in and you have to put every single line item in there. It's really a wake-up call versus when you just look through your statements, you're like, oh, yeah, it's $5 here, $2 here. Whereas when you have to manually enter those, you're like, oh, yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot of money, a lot of $5 here, $10 here, but it adds up big over time. Another tip is be in your budget every 2 to 3 days. Be tracking your expenses every 2 to 3 days versus waiting to the end of the month. Then it's going to feel like this overwhelming task. You're going to have so many transactions to input. Whereas if you do it every couple of days, then you're in the habit. Then it's not too much. It takes 5-10 minutes. Whereas if you do it at the end of the month, it could take an hour plus. So get in the habit of every couple of days, and that's really going to cut down the time, and it's going to seem less overwhelming, and it's going to make you want to do it more versus just this uncontrollable task that I can't do it. It's too much. Nope, I'm not doing it. Sorry, Kelly, not doing it. Number 4, I don't want this to come off harsh, but it needs to be said, and that is stop swiping your card. Stop going deeper into debt. If you are in debt, if you're past due on your bills and you are in crisis mode, the last thing you want to do is accruing more debt. And it seems hard. It seems endless, like you can't do it. Kelly, I need to put gas in my car. Kelly, I need to put food on my table. I understand, but figure it out. Find a way to not swipe your card. Find a way to put food on the table without going more into debt. Maybe it's a pantry challenge. Maybe you are like, okay, we're cleaning out the fridge, cleaning out the freezer. We have no money left for groceries, but we're going to make it happen. We may have some crazy, interesting, weird meals this month or this week, but we're going to figure it out and we're going to make it happen. I bet you there's enough food in your pantry to last a long time. There's enough food in your freezer to last a while. It may be a mixed match of foods, but it's going to feed your family and it's going to make you through so that you can stop that endless cycle. Because even if you are deep in debt, even if you don't have any money to put on groceries, all you have is your credit card. When you just keep on swiping, it's going to keep you in that endless debt cycle, and then you're never going to be able to break free from it. Stay strong. Don't swipe the card. Find alternates. Find other ways to get creative, maybe even bargaining with someone. Say you have a babysitter or whatever it is and saying, hey, can I do this for you? And find different resources that you can use, that you can barter, that you can exchange versus paying for and going into debt. Next is to make a list of your priorities for your money. What is 911 that needs to get paid? What is 911 that you need to use your money for? Is it rent or mortgage? Is it your utilities? Is it gas? Is it food? What are those items that are 911 and then anything else is extra? I don't want you paying your credit card bill if you are going to get your lights turned off. That is 911. That is a priority. So have your priority of what is, I need to have these bills paid, and then anything on top of that, that'll get paid. But if it's not in this and we run out of money, then we run out of money. And we're going to have to stop swiping. We're going to have to figure it out. But have those set. So what are the 4 walls that you need to have paid? Number 6 is to call your cable company, your power company, all of those companies, and say, hey, this is my situation. Humble yourself. It's maybe embarrassing, but just, hey, I'm going through some medical issues. I'm going through this. I just had a job loss. This is what's going on. Can we come up with a payment plan? Can we figure it out so that I can keep my lights on? See what you can do to maybe move things around, work it out, maybe extend your payments, but have a lower each month. Be real with them. Be honest with them. Chances are they may have a grant. They may have something that they can do to work with you if you are coming at it like, hey, I want to be able to pay my bill, but this is what's going on. What can we do? How can we figure this out? They get phone calls like this all the time. It's not new to them. So just make the call and see what you can do to get your bills lowered or move some things around or maybe come up with a cheaper plan, whatever it may be. Next is call all of your debts. See what you can do. See if they can do something similar. See if they can lower the interest rate. See if they can extend the payment plan so that you're paying less each month. And then figure something out that you can work with them and say, hey, I want to be able to pay you, but this is my situation. This is what's going on. What can we work out? What can we do together? Now, these are debts. These are money that you owe, so it is your responsibility to pay them back. But that may just mean that you want to extend the life of them for this season right now. And then maybe in a year when things are looking better, 6 months when things are looking better, you can pay extra and end it early. But right now, you may need it to extend it so that you can pay less at a time each month. Also, be very, very careful. Be very aware that they may try and scare you. They know that you're in crisis mode. They may say, we're going to send a loan officer out. We need your money right now. We need this debt paid. Don't let them scare you. That's actually illegal for them to do. So be wise, know your rights, and be strong in it, and don't let them scare you. It is a scare tactic, but come at it with compassion. Come at it with a, hey, this is what's going on. This is my situation. Chances are they're going to match your tone and they're going to help work with you. I remember when my student loans were in default and I ignored the call, Then when I finally did talk to them, I thought they were going to be yelling at me, cursing me out, screaming at me. They were honestly really helpful. They were like, okay, let's figure it out. What can you afford? They asked me all of my bills and all of my income. Okay, how much do you make here? Okay, what is your rent? Okay, what's your car payment? Okay, what's all of this? And then they said, okay, this is what you can afford. This, in our eyes, this is what you can afford. We're going to charge you $100 a month. We're going to charge you whatever it is. And that was a lot less than I expected. And I thought they were going to be like, you need all the money right now. And be like, I don't have it all right now. So call them, figure it out, and work with them, because chances are you're going to be able to come up with something mutually that's going to be helpful. And they want their money, but chances are they'll work with you in a way that you can both mutually agree and that you can still afford it. Number 8 is find ways to make extra money. Find ways to make extra money around the house, sell some things, find some jobs that you can do on the internet. There are so many different ways to make money from home, to make money online. It is crazy. The possibilities are endless. I actually have a printable for you guys with 147 different ways to make money, all from home, all from online, from the comforts of your home. You don't need to go out and DoorDash or anything like that, but 147 ideas to make money online. I'll have it down below in the description box for you below. It is a free printable for you. So definitely get that printable, come up with some ideas. It's really going to help to trigger yourself and be like, oh, you know what? I can do that. You know what? I actually do have that skill. I never thought twice. I didn't know that I could actually make money on it, but I can put a couple hours a week or whatever it may be and make some decent money and use that to pay off my debt. So get creative. It may be a little outside your comfort zone, but it's really going to help you to help pay off your debt a lot faster and get back on track with your bills. And it may take sacrifice, like I said, but trust me, it's going to be worth it. Next, I just want to encourage you. I just want to let you know that, trust me, I have been there. Like I said in the beginning, I was deep in debt. I had my car repossessed. I had my student loans in default. It was bad. It was a rough situation. And now looking back, honestly, I don't even recognize that person anymore. We have changed so much with our finances of just getting on a budget, just having accountability, watching YouTube videos, getting plugged in online. And I don't have a lot of people in my real life that were paying off debt, but I found people on YouTube. I found people that I could connect with and be like, all right, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it. And I looked to see those people that had done it and use that as encouragement, and saw people like myself of saying, hey, she did it. She was able to pull herself out of debt. She was not good with money anymore at all. When she had $20 in her pocket, that was $20 that I thought I could spend. And now looking back, I'm like, who was that person? I don't even recognize it. And we have been able to get out of debt, buy a house, cash flow our wedding, cash flow a car, all of that. And now we're able to live debt free, and it's amazing. It took sacrifice. It took a lot of work, but it was worth it so much. So if I can do it, trust me, I was not good with money at all whatsoever. If I can do it, so can you. So I believe in you. Let me know down below in the comments, what are some things that you're doing to get ahead on your bills? What are some frugal tips that you've learned along the way? Let's keep the conversation going. If you want to learn some more ways that you can make money from home, check out this video here. And if you want to know deep down my car repossessed story, all of it went down. It was a rough video, but if you want to know all the dirt, all the juice on that, check out this video here.